Hey, book readers! Buckle up for a story that'll strike you like a blizzard, and you won't be able to tear yourself away from page to page. Has your life been turned around by those who are supposed to care for you the most? This is the story of a mother's unshakable love for her child, a family's heartless betrayal, and an ember of revenge that's beginning to burn. Jessica Harper, 38, thought she'd mastered the mayhem of single motherhood and high school English teaching in a sleepy Boston suburb. She spent her days grading essays, assisting students with poetry assignments, and dashing to her daughter's art club exhibitions. Her daughter, Mia, 17 years old, was her world, clever, artistic, always drawing city skylines or whipping up goodies for her friends. On a snowy Christmas Eve, however, when Jessica remained late at Brookline High after grading finals for a colleague whose husband was in the hospital, her phone vibrated with a call that shattered her heart. Mia had driven 20 minutes to her grandparents' house, her beat-up sedan loaded with wrapped gifts and a homemade apple pie she'd baked from scratch. She hoped to spread holiday cheer, maybe even mend the shaky family ties that had always felt strained. But when she knocked, her grandmother, Evelyn, opened the door with a sneer. "You're no granddaughter of mine. Get out now." Mia stood motionless on the porch, the pie trembling in her hands. Tears ran down her face as she made her way back to her car. Her voice wavered through the phone to Jessica. "Mom, what did I do to mess up? Why does she dislike me so much?" Jessica's heart constricted, a burning anger coursing through her system. How could Evelyn spurn her own granddaughter on Christmas Eve? After all those years, Jessica had struggled to create a life for Mia. She slammed her laptop closed, a pile of ungraded papers on top. She navigated icy holiday traffic at a frantic pace, the snow obscuring her windshield like her whirling thoughts. Her thoughts darted back to her own youth, always in Amanda's shadow. Amanda, 4 years her senior, was the family star, straight A student, lacrosse team captain, their dad's pride and joy. Their father, Henry, boasted about Amanda as if she'd discovered the sun. Evelyn baked her signature oatmeal cookies after each game. Jessica, on the other hand, was the introvert buried in books, reading to children at the community center to volunteer. She had known by age 16 that she wanted to be a teacher, but when she informed her parents she wished to pursue an education degree, Henry dismissed her. "Teaching's not a real job. Get an education degree like Amanda. Be like her, Evelyn." Stirring soup in the kitchen agreed. "It's a nice hobby, Jessica, but it won't pay." Amanda, reclined on the couch, sneered. "Not everyone's cut out for the high stakes, Jess." Jessica forged on regardless, cobbling together scholarships to a state college. Her first year was all-nighters and dollar ramen. By sophomore fall, she met Ryan in a college coffee shop. His quick smile and warm gaze swept her up quick. Too quick. By December, she stood in a dorm bathroom, gazing at a pregnancy test with 2 pink lines glaring back. Ryan was gone by January. No call, no text. Just disappeared like a ghost. Jessica drove home to break the news to her parents. Her stomach sick. The kitchen sounded like a courtroom when she spoke. Henry's face darkened with anger. "You're destroying your life. How could you be so stupid?" Evelyn's eyes filled up, but not for Jessica. "What will the neighbors think?" "We have a name to protect." Amanda leaned against the wall, her grin sharp. "I knew you'd screw up big time." They gave her 2 choices. End the pregnancy or give the baby up. "You'll never survive alone," Henry barked. Jessica stood tall, her knees shaking but her voice firm. "I'm keeping my child." Evelyn's words came like a slap. "Pack your bags and leave." Jessica stole a backpack, filled it with books and clothes, and headed out into the cold December evening. The door closed on her final click. She lived off student loans and diner work, growing fat as she learned. Mia was born on a humid July morning, her wails filling a cold hospital room. There were no visitors, no cards, just Jessica and Mia alone in the world. She held Mia's tiny hand and whispered, "We've got this, little one." The years that followed were tough. Tutoring for $150 a month, studying for her teaching license at night, eyes heavy from exhaustion. Mia babbled through alphabet books, her tiny fingers tracing words like hope. Her parents sent 1 card for Mia's first birthday. No names signed. Amanda visited once, glanced at the cracked apartment walls, and left without a hug. "You're managing." I guess, she grumbled. For 15 years? Jessica bore the hurt of rejection. Holidays were just her and Mia. Eating takeout and watching holiday classics, Mia's queries about her grandparents pierced. Why don't they come see us, Mom? Jessica watered down the truth. They're just really far away. Sweetie, when Mia was 12, she began to glow, top of her class, composing stories that made Jessica's heart burst. One evening, while eating grilled cheese on their tiny kitchen table, Mia asked, "What's Grandma like? Do we have family traditions?" Her inquisitive eyes pulled at Jessica's scars. She had shielded Mia from the hurtful facts, but how long could she keep it undefined? Weeks of ruminating, her stomach nodding during late-night lesson preparation, Jessica made up her mind to attempt. They're complicated, Mia, but let's take a shot. She began monthly Sunday dinners at her parents' home, trying to better connect. It was fine at first. Henry asked Mia how she did on her grades. His voice gruff but interested. Evelyn loaded extra mashed potatoes onto her plate. The steam warm and appealing, but the warmth dissipated quickly. Amanda, married now to a real estate agent named Brian, monopolized every dinner. 3 years ago, when Mia was 15, Amanda said she was pregnant. Her son Noah was born in a balloon-filled hospital room with cheers. Henry smiled, cradling Noah like a trophy. He's already got my grip. Evelyn converted the guest room into a nursery for Noah, complete with small train decals and a crib that cost more than Jessica's rent. They drove every week to babysit Noah, lavishing him with toys and kisses. Mia became invisible. Her 16th birthday came and went with a supermarket cake Jessica purchased. No phone call from Evelyn. No greeting card from Henry. Mia wrapped her arms around her knees on their couch, her voice barely above a whisper. They forgot, didn't they? Jessica's heart shattered, the scent of chocolate frosting combining with her rage. It's not your fault. Mia, they're wrong. Those dinners turned into a bitter ritual. The table laid for 6. Amanda and Brian doting over Noah's high chair. That Christmas Eve, when Evelyn slammed the door on Mia, Jessica's world shifted. She raced home, her mind a storm of rage and love. Seeing Mia curled up on the couch, still in her red scarf, shattered her. She knelt beside her, holding her tight. You're perfect, Mia. They're the ones who messed up. Something snapped inside Jessica, turning her pain into steel. She grabbed her phone and texted her friend Lisa, a tough family lawyer. Take care of them. Her parents' calls poured in. 38 missed calls. Evelyn's voice shaky in voicemails. Please, Jessica, don't do this. Jessica's fingers were steady as she typed back, You'd better start praying. Jessica Harper sat at her kitchen table, the weight of her daughter Mia's tears still heavy on her heart. Christmas Eve had left a scar, with Mia rejected by her grandmother Evelyn at their family's Boston home. Now 17, Mia was a star pupil, art club president, writing contest winner, invisible to her grandparents. At those monthly Sunday dinners, Mia's seat was always an afterthought. A folding chair pushed against the wall, her plate perched on her lap. She'd ask politely, Can you pass the bread? Her grandfather Henry hardly glanced up, too engrossed in spooning carrots for his grandson Noah. Eat up. Little man, you'll be strong like your dad. Evelyn doted on Noah's every giggle, dismissing Mia's subdued satisfaction with her own new achievement. Mia had taken top prize in a regional writing competition, her tale of secret family secrets winning a gleaming plaque. Jessica showed it off buffed on their apartment mantel, but it collected dust in her parents' eyes. That's nice, Mia, Evelyn remarked once, chewing on roast. Then she showed a video of Noah's unsteady steps on her phone. Mia's aunt, Sarah, nodded in agreement, scrolling through her work emails. He's a born runner. Like Brian, nobody asked for Mia's story. Nobody witnessed the flames of her words. Jessica felt the burn of each slight, her stomach churning at each meal. Have you ever eaten at a table and felt like a ghost? The pain fermented, bubbling beneath Jessica's false smiles. She clung to Mia, wanting her daughter to have some family, no matter how imperfect. But 3 weeks prior to that terrible Christmas Eve, crisis intervened to alter everything. While taking her lunch break at Brookline High, Jessica's coworker Rachel burst into the staff room. Her eyes were puffy, her hands grasping a crumpled tissue. My husband's ill? He requires full-time care? Now Rachel was assigned to grade a stack of Holiday essays no one else would touch. Jessica didn't. Hesitate. Go be with him. I'll handle the grading. Rachel hugged her tightly, her thanks soft but heavy. Jessica knew the pain of family emergencies as a single mom who'd fought through tough years. Alone, family always came first, but it meant changing their Christmas plans. That night, Jessica sat Mia down on their worn couch, papers scattered on the coffee table. Mia, tall now with her dark hair tied up in a messy bun, looked up from her sketchbook. "Sweetie, I've got overtime during the holidays," Jessica said. "Rachel's husband is ill. Can you go to Grandma and Grandpa's by yourself? I'll arrive by 10. Mia played with her bracelet, her expression serene but introspective. "Sure, Mom. They need you at work. I'll drive myself. It's no big deal." Her small smile made Jessica feel warmer in the heart. "I made your apple pie recipe, wrapped gifts for everyone." Even Noah, Mia's kindness shone through, even after years of being sidelined at family dinners. "You sure?" Jessica asked, squeezing her hand. "Those dinners can be tough sometimes." "I'll be fine," Mia said, her eyes bright. "Maybe I'll tell them about my scholarship offers. 3 schools want me. Full rides." Jessica's chest swelled with pride. "That's my girl. Dreaming big." Do you remember that moment when your child's optimism encourages you to pray the world won't fail her? Jessica held her close, the smell of vanilla from Mia's baking still clinging. "I'm so proud of you." Christmas weeks were a haze. Mia baked late into the night, mastering her pie crust, the kitchen heavy with cinnamon and warmth. She wrapped presents with precise folds, singing carols to herself as she tied bows. "Will Grandma like my knitted scarf?" she asked, holding it against her. Jessica nodded, trying to conceal her anxiety. "She'll love it." "Honey." At dawn on Christmas Eve morning, Jessica departed, kissing Mia's forehead. "Text when you arrive. Call if you have to." Mia waved in the kitchen, her red sweater dress a splash of color against the chilled pie. "Go grade those papers." "Mom, see you tonight." In school, the corridors hummed with holiday frenzy at the last moment, tinsel strewn on the floor, children's giggles dying as classes concluded. Jessica settled into the peaceful staff room, papers arrayed under fluorescent lights that flickered. At 6:30, her phone rang with a text from Mia. "Got here. Pie's a success with Uncle Brian." Jessica smiled, responding with a heart emoji. But at 7:45, as she discussed an essay with a student, her phone rang insistently. 2 missed calls from Mia. A message read, "Can you talk?" Jessica's stomach fell. Mia never phoned in the middle of work unless something was amiss. She moved into the vacant corridor, the linoleum chilly beneath her feet, and called. Mia picked up on the first ring, her voice trembling. "Mom, I'm driving home." Jessica's heart pounded. What had gone wrong? "It was terrible," Mia replied, her words cracking. The rumble of traffic filled the space. She'd walked in at her grandparents'. Pie fresh from the oven, presents arranged neatly on the counter. Evelyn hardly glanced up, saying a quick hello before making a beeline for the kitchen. Henry shrugged and took the presents with a grunt, placing them on a side table. Sarah, Brian, and Noah were already there, Noah's toy cars racing across the carpet. Dinner called, plates clinking under warm candlelight. The table was set for 6, Henry and Evelyn at the ends, Sarah and Brian to either side of Noah's booster seat. Jessica's chair remained empty, a quiet reminder. Mia stood self-consciously with a heavy plate in her hands. "Where do I sit?" she asked. Evelyn looked up, fork halted. "You're not going with your mom away?" "Take a spot in the living room. No apology, no attempt to make space." Mia sat on an ottoman, her fork screeching on the plate, laughter pouring from the dining room. Sarah told a tale of Noah's daycare artwork, prompting great guffaws. Noah toddled into the room, interested. "Why are you sitting there by yourself, cousin?" Sarah stopped Mia before she could say anything. "Your juice is ready." "Buddy." She didn't glance at Mia. When dessert time arrived, Mia held out her pie, sounding eager. "I made this using your cinnamon recipe." "Grandma," Evelyn waved it off. "We're saving sweets for later. Kids get too wild." Then the family moved to the Christmas tree, wrapping paper tearing. Noah's squeals loud. Mia sat alone, the pine scent heavy, ribbons glinting like a taunt. She couldn't take it anymore. Grabbing her coat, she headed for the door. Henry looked up from a toy car. "Leaving already?" Your gifts are under the tree. Mia's throat tightened. Mom's working late. I don't want her coming home to nothing. Evelyn called from the couch. Her voice flat, drive safe, no hug, no goodbye, just the door closing behind her. The cold air hit Mia's face as she climbed into her car. Her sobs broke free on the phone. I thought this year would be different. Jessica's hands shook, rage boiling inside her. Head home, Mia. I'm leaving now. Our Christmas starts tonight. Mia's voice softened, even through her pain. Love you, Mom. Finish your work. Jessica hung up, her knuckles white. She fled the school in a hurry, papers crammed into her book bag. The ride home was a haze. Holiday lights flashing by her windshield. No messages were left on her voicemail. Only a heavy stillness. On their apartment, the porch light flickered feebly against the snow. Within, the Christmas tree slumped, its ornaments dulled in the poor light. Mia curled on the couch, red sweater dress still on, shoes kicked about beside the table. The uncut pie festered on the counter, its crust broken, gifts were heaped beside it, their ribbons taunting. Mia came awake as Jessica knelt beside her. You're home early, Mom. Jessica drew her close, her heat stabilizing them both. I couldn't leave you alone. Mia shook with her body. It ached so much this time. Her words penetrated Jessica's chest. Have you ever experienced a moment when love and rage meet? Jessica wrapped a blanket over Mia, crouched on the floor among the twinkling tree lights. Her determination hardened like frost. This was no isolated error. It was 17 years of being passed over. Rather than dash to her parents, she queued up her laptop. 2 months before, there had been an offer of a job, a principalship in Austin, Texas, of a creative writing program. Higher salary, more time for Mia. Jessica had faltered, unwilling to ruin Mia's senior year. But now, it felt like freedom. Austin had top schools, and Mia's grades would fit perfectly. She'd once dreamed of studying art at the University of Texas. By morning, as light crept through the blinds, Mia woke, rubbing her eyes. What's next, Mom? Jessica sat beside her, laptop open. We're done begging for their love. There's a job in Austin. Better schools. A fresh start. Mia's face softened, then grew firm. I'm ready. Mom, last night showed me they'll never care. I'm tired of trying. Her voice broke. But her eyes were clear. Rachel Miller stopped waiting for her parents to change. She and her daughter, Emily, 17, had faced years of rejection from her family in Boston. Christmas Eve had been the breaking point, when her mother, Susan, told Emily she wasn't their granddaughter. That morning afterwards, Rachel and Emily sat at her kitchen table, napkins covered with moving plans. Emily's face brightened as she scrolled through Austin teen clubs on her phone. Their debate team is fabulous. Rachel grinned, her spirits lifting. They wrote an email together, their hands flying across the laptop. Dear Susan, George and Nicole, Rachel wrote, Emily hovering over her side. Christmas Eve. When I filled in for a sick employee, Emily arrived with her pie and presents. You instructed her that she is not your granddaughter and to go away. We've tallied the skipped birthdays, accumulating like unkept promises. You opened a college fund for Noah, but Emily's winning writing awards gather dust. Her regional story contest victory was irrelevant to you. For 17 years, you prioritized bloodlines over love, treating Emily as if she didn't exist. Emily grabbed the keyboard, her tone even but incisive. I recall picnic afternoons in the park when I was a child, laughing with you. I appreciate those afternoons, but I should have a rightful seat at your table, not apologies. Rachel concluded the final stanzas. We're relocating to Austin in January. No visits, no phone calls. The door is open if you accept your flaws and treat us as equals. Until then, farewell. Rachel mailed it through certified mail, the receipt a good confirmation of their decision. She picked up the phone and called her friend, Anna, a keen family lawyer. Anna, it's Rachel. Take Susan out of my will. The $50,000 I reserved for emergencies. Revise everything. Anna's tone was firm. I'm on it. You and Emily are worth this second chance. The line fell silent, but Rachel felt lighter, as though a burden had been lifted. 3 days later, the storm passed, her inbox filled with emails, her phone buzzing with voicemails. Susan's voice shook through the speaker, small and pleading. It was a mistake, Rachel. Come over. Let's fix this. George left one message. His tone rough. After all we've done, you're cutting us off like this? Nicole's email arrived at midnight, the subject line glaring. You're overreacting. She wrote pages, blaming Emily. We didn't expect her to stay all evening without you. The table was set by habit. She's too sensitive. Creating a drama about nothing. Texas is punishing us for your past grudges. Rachel read it, her jaw clenched, and responded in 3 words. Our decision is final. She would not argue. Have you ever insisted when everyone urged you to explain? That's where strength develops. 10 days passed, and snow crunched against their apartment window. The doorbell rang. Sharp and clear. Emily peeked from behind the blinds, her face white. It's them? Mom, all 3 of them are here. Rachel walked up to join her, noticing George's old truck and Nicole's SUV parked haphazardly in the driveway. Susan, George, and Nicole stood on the porch. George clutched a wrinkled printout of their email. Susan turned her scarf, eyes red. Nicole had her arms crossed, her expression unyielding. Stay with me, Emily whispered, taking Rachel's hand. Rachel squeezed hers back, always together. Emily's chin came up. No more hiding. Rachel pushed open the door, standing steady in the doorway. Allowing cold air to flood in, no one entered. George pushed the paper forward, his voice booming. What is this foolishness? Cutting us off for one dinner? Rachel remained cool, although her heart was pounding. It wasn't one dinner. It's 17 years of shutting us out. Susan moved forward, crying. We didn't intend to make her feel unwelcome. It just sort of happened. You're taking our granddaughter away. How can you be so cruel? Emily interrupted, voice ringing out. You knew I was arriving. Grandma, you put the table for all but me. Nicole rolled her eyes, boots scraping against the floor. This is ridiculous. You're breaking the family up because you're still upset about your past. Emily's too dramatic. Just walking out like that. Seniors in Texas will destroy her senior year. Rachel held Nicole's gaze. Unblinking, we're not bitter, we're awake. You've picked your favorites for years. Nicole's the star. Noah's the center. Emily and I are just background players. George's voice thundered, his face flush. We adore Emily, always have. Rachel's laugh cut through. Love isn't about ignoring her successes or placing her on a folding chair. Susan clutched George's arm, crying, what about our neighbors? Family gatherings? George's health cannot sustain this, Nicole cut in, her tone slicing. Consider Noah. He adores his cousin. This relocation is selfish. Emily took a step forward, her voice calm. When did we last play, Aunt Nicole? You keep Noah at arm's length like I'm some stranger. George's eyes grew tight. Fine, go then. No more vacations, no help. Rachel smiled, icily genuine. When did we ever have your help? The neighbor's porch light flashed on, curtains fluttering across the street. Rachel stood up straight. Time to go. We're finished talking. Susan turned around, her voice cracking. We're family, Rachel. Blood counts. Rachel's response was adamant. Blood does not justify hurt. She closed the door, the lock snapping shut. Their footprints receded on the snowy sidewalk. Emily leaned against the wall, breathing out. We made it, Mom. Rachel nodded. Her own heart settled. Yes, we did. By late January, they got on a flight to Austin, the sound of the plane's hum synchronizing with their excitement. The city welcomed them with gentle rain, a relief from Boston's chill. Their new apartment was nestled in the hills, green slopes falling away from the view and the smell of fresh paint. Unloading boxes that first week, Emily discovered an old photograph, her at age 5, grinning next to Rachel on a park swing. Miss the snow? She asked, cradling the frame. Rachel shuddered. I miss the hurt even less. Emily's new school took her in quickly. Counselors complimented her writing portfolio. Your essay on family secrets is amazing, one offered, returning her contest plaque. Rachel started her principal job, her mornings fueled by strong coffee, her afternoons shaping creative writing lessons. Anna visited a month later, bringing tacos and legal papers. Susan's out of the will, no issues, she said, grinning over the kitchen counter. You've built something strong here. Their new life grew roots. Teachers hosted barbecues. Their kids playing tag with Emily in the yard. Laughter rang under string lights. Warm and real. Some nights, homesickness hit hard. Emily glared up at the ceiling. Voice tiny, "Will they ever get it, Mom?" Rachel sat with her, arm wrapped around her shoulders. Their loss. "Not ours, we get to choose who stays. By spring?" The pain receded to a dull throb. Emily joined the literary magazine at school, her writing bringing awards at state competitions. Rachel led a writing club, guiding kids whose stories resonated with their own struggle for belonging. 3 years went by, and Austin became like home. Emily, now a sophomore at the University of Texas, earned a full writing scholarship. Her dorm walls burst with colorful art. "Mom, I'm editing the lit journal," she texted. Emojis flying. Rachel grinned from her principal's office, promoted last fall to lead district-wide inclusive programs. The irony wasn't lost. A woman once dismissed now shaping futures. News from Boston came rarely, but it cut deep. Susan's house stood quiet, her social circle gone after gossip spread. George's heart condition worsened over last winter, resulting in a hospital stay. Nicole's divorce finalized, with her husband citing nonstop family drama. She floundered through temp jobs, Noah's grades suffering, tutors unfunded. Rachel and Emily had long ago blocked their numbers. No calls, no surprise visits. Their Thanksgiving table now ran over with potluck fare. Anna's chili, neighbors' cornbread, Emily's apple pie at last enjoyed. Plates passed freely, stories told loud and warm, no empty chairs, no cold glances. Retaliation wasn't on the agenda, but peace was. Rachel discovered family is not who you're born to, it's what you create. Boundaries keep the light you hold. Leave what injures you behind, and the world opens wide. If this standing tall story touched your heart, give it that like button to share some love. Subscribe for more authentic stories of courage and comeback. Leave a comment. Have you ever severed relationships to achieve peace? Share this video with someone who needs to see it. Your donations keep these stories alive. So let's continue the flame. The moral of this story is clear. Family isn't blood. It's the people who choose you. Protect your peace and build a life that glows.